Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to make a nearly invisible increase in your knitting called the lifted increase. Specifically, I'll be covering both the left leaning and the right leaning versions. These increases are perfect for shaping without getting those noticeable holes that sometimes happen with other methods. So let's get started. For this tutorial, I'm just simply using some DK weight yarn on a size 5 circular needle. But as always, it's your knitting and you can use your preferred yarn and needle type. I'm just going to knit over to where we're going to do our increases. We're going to start with the left lifted increase, or LLI. Some patterns will indicate whether you are going to knit or purl your lifted increase, and they'll add in a K or a P to the knitting term. So it'd be an LLIK or an LLIP. But we'll be just doing the knitted version today. So I've knitted up to the stitch where I want to add the increase. So for the left lifted increase, we're going to knit the stitch we want to add the increase into, and we're going to go into the stitch below the one we just worked, or 2 stitches below the one on the right hand side. We're going to lift the left leg of that stitch and place it onto the left needle, and then we're simply going to knit it as we normally would. I'm going to show you another method. This is the version that I find easier to do with my knitting style. So I'm just going to knit the stitch I want to increase into, use my left needle to go 2 stitches below and lift the left leg, and then knit through the back loop. So the key is to not twist the stitch that we are lifting. Now I'm going to knit over to the right to show you the right lifted increase. So I want to add the right lifted increase into the stitch you see here. Again, some patterns will indicate whether to knit or purl your new stitch, but by adding that K or P, so it would be an RLIK or an RLIP. But again, we're just going over the knit stitch today. If you're going to purl, just bring your yarn to the front and purl that lifted increase. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to take our right needle and pick up the right leg of the stitch below the one on the left needle. Place that stitch onto the left needle and then knit it like you normally would, and then knit the next stitch. I'm going to show you another way of doing that. You can also take your left needle, pick up the stitch below, and then knit it like you normally would. Just remember not to twist that lifted stitch. And you can see how clean and beautiful the fabric is, where the increase just blends right in. And this is the right and left versions mimic each other, making it great for symmetrical shaping. The reason they're called the left and the right leaning is the left leaning, you're picking up the left leg of the stitch, and your new stitch is also leaning to the left. Your right leaning, you're picking up the right side of the stitch, and your new stitches are leaning to the right. A few little tips for working this increase. Tension is key when you're lifting and knitting that loop below. Don't be afraid to tug gently on that stitch to help blend it into the fabric. These lifted increases are fantastic for any situation you want to add a subtle shaping to. Think, great for sweater shaping, for creating a gusset for your mitten or for your socks. Anytime you can want an increase without a noticeable hole, this is a great option for you. And as you can see on the wrong side of the work, the fabric is just as neat as the front of the work. And that's how you knit an invisible lifted increase, both the right and left leading. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more knitting tips and tricks. Let me know in the comments below what other techniques you would like to learn. Happy knitting, and I'll see you in the next video.